My dog is wearing Christmas pajamas. Hi friends, this is Lulu Sketches, and today I am ranking 9 trashy Christmas rom-coms from Netflix from worst to best. At number 9 is A Christmas Prince. This movie was a dumpster fire, but I did watch the whole thing. To summarize, a reporter goes to a European country to dig up dirt on the Playboy prince for an article. First, some weird things in this movie. First of all, it's confusing that a company would send a reporter with absolutely no experience to an expensive press conference in Europe. Next, the prince's little sister, who apparently treats tutors terribly, immediately warms to the protagonist, without even a montage, even though the protagonist is clearly not a tutor and cannot do basic geometry. Also, she sucks at her job as a reporter. Just literally look at her notes. Next, she finds a file in a secret drawer, and without even looking at what it is, she immediately decides it's relevant to her article and steals it. There could be like literally anything in that file. You're not even gonna take a real peek inside first. Another weird thing is that many parts of this movie seem directly taken from the Princess Diaries series. I mean, the archery part. And the fact that this country is almost called Genovia.
Aldovia.
Another weird thing about this movie is that the prince is just super bland. He's supposed to be the love interest and he's just not interesting. Next, predictable things in this movie. It turns out the prince is a saint and not a playboy, and he does volunteer work for the village orphans. The near kiss, stopped only by a horse neighing. If a horse neighing is all it takes for you to pull away, then did you really want to kiss her? Good things about this movie. It's the actress from iZombie, who is cute and cool. Oh, in the actual movie. There were no good things. I gave it a thumbs down on Netflix. I've never done this with any movie before. Number 8 on our list is A Christmas Kiss. A girl kisses a guy on an elevator and it turns out to be her boss's boyfriend, which is apparently okay because she thinks her boss is a... Weird things about this movie. The love interest looks more like a villain or an ex in any other Christmas rom-com. I'm not saying he's bad looking, he's just not classically good. What's weird is that all the other characters keep mentioning how good looking he is.
He's handsome, we are equals in our looks.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Another weird thing about this movie, it doesn't recognize the girl trope, kind of like when they have like a masquerade ball in a movie and the guy is like, who is that girl? Even though she was just wearing a tiny mask over her eyes. But this movie takes it to a whole new level because the girl is just wearing a lot of glitter eyeshadow. And apparently that makes her unrecognizable when she's not wearing glitter eyeshadow. And what bothers me a lot about this movie is that she's supposedly a designer, but then when we see her design, who drew these? Will from Stranger Things while possessed? Predictable things about this movie. The whole elevator breaking down while they're on it trope. Good things about this movie. This movie contains the ultimate prank. Shout out to that kid that hangs an ornament on that lady's dress. Good one, Jacob. Number 7 on our list is Merry KISSMAS. A girl is engaged to a famous choreographer, but then she randomly kisses a stranger on an elevator with mistletoe. Good things about this movie. The love interest in this movie is an actor from Pretty Little Liars, and he is extremely attractive. So of course during the movie he mentions how he can't get a girl.
The only women who would want me could be my grandmother.
Because that's super realistic. Weird things about this movie. Her fiance is just horrible. And what is that accent he's speaking in? Who talks like that?
Ha! So you admit it? Oh, well maybe you should get engaged to him. Where are you going? I need you.
The weirdest thing about this movie is that there's this montage in the middle where the girl and the love interest are like an official couple, and then in the next scene it's like they never got together. My friend Amanda Jolly noticed something super major here. Just as the characters start moving from friendship to a relationship, a cutesy montage starts. They wear winter outfits, they exchange shy glances, mid-montage, everything shifts and boom! They're in t-shirts and they're grabbing each other's faces and kissing. But then wait, hold up, because the montage ends and boom again! They are back in winter clothes and very nervous with each other. At the very end of the movie, when the couple gets engaged, they are at the same pier in the same outfits as they were mid-montage. Conclusion: the film had been completely re-edited to add in more coupley footage, but the creative team clearly didn't have the time or money for reshoots. What the? Next, predictable things. They meet on an elevator and it breaks down. Also, the blatant Kay Jewelers product placement. Also, it turns out the love interest is secretly his saint saint and does free fundraisers for animal shelters. Number 6 on my list, A Christmas Kiss 2. This time, a girl kisses a stranger on an elevator again, but it is the boss's brother, not her boyfriend. Good things. Aaron Samuels from Mean Girls is in this movie. Weird things. Aaron Samuels is in this movie, but he is not the love interest. Another weird thing in the movie. The protagonist, who is an assistant at a magazine, gets roped into a sexy Santa photo shoot when the model bails. This makes sense because this is a major magazine. Also during this movie, the boss from the first movie keeps showing up and making obvious references to the first movie. We are not that nostalgic. Also during this movie, there was a fly flying around the main actress's face during one of her scenes. Could they not just use another take? Who is the editor here? How are you not noticing these things? Predictable things about this movie. The love interest is a player, but then the girl makes him want to change and he becomes a saint. And then again with the K Jewelers product placement. Number 5 on my list is Christmas Crush. A girl goes to her high school reunion, which is over Christmas for some reason, and tries to win her ex back. Good things. Aaron Samuels from Mean Girls is also in the movie, and he is the love interest. Weird things. One of the girls who is extremely thin and fit is constantly made fun of during this movie for being overweight.
500 calories a day.
Does that include chocolate?
You've been eating chocolate? Losing weight and bloat doesn't count.
Also, the main group of girls is in this glee club that apparently won Best Regional Performance, but none of them can sing or dance well. Speaking of singing, there are at least 4 full songs sung during this movie. They go on forever. And predictable things. It's the hot best guy friend. She doesn't realize that he's the one for her. Number 4 is Back to Christmas. A year after a breakup with her boyfriend, a girl gets to go back in time and have a do-over. Good things. Again with the hot best guy friend and not realizing that he's your soulmate. I mean, she says he's like a brother like 10 times.
Much like a brother to me. It's like a second brother.
Another thing is that the production quality of this movie was actually pretty great. And it was pretty funny. Weird things. The ex looks just like Ed Helms and it's very distracting. Also, there's this one scene where she gets splashed in the face with coffee, and her hair is clearly wet from a past take. Also, this movie has aggressive Christmas music.
Sounds like heaven, actually.
Well, after a few years, it wouldn't.
Want to bet?
The last weird thing is that the ending of this movie was just disturbing. She gets to skip back to her normal time. She doesn't remember the whole past year, and she's engaged now. She has no recollection of her entire relationship since their first kiss. That's not a happy ending, that's called amnesia. Predictable things about this movie. It turns out the love interest is secretly a saint and volunteers for the less fortunate. Number 3 on my list is A Holiday Engagement. Good things about this movie. This movie is about a girl who was dumped and then hires an actor to play her boyfriend for the holidays. The love interest is charming and funny. Hilary Duff's sister is in it. The movie itself is pretty funny. The acting is good. Another good thing is how they're texting on their really old phones. I just like that. And it has that fun, predictable trope where you're pretending to be dating someone and then you actually fall in love with them. Weird things about this movie. The sound effects. I mean, the mom throws a paper plant holder onto the ground and it makes the sound of breaking glass. And why can't this girl put a top back on a tub of ice cream without ice cream spilling down the side? The last weird thing is when she gets with the guy and then there's this whole weird slow motion montage. There's clearly a time jump because the baby from the beginning of the movie is now older, but the puppy the love interest got at the beginning of the movie is still a puppy. Or maybe this is a new puppy, in which case where is the old puppy? Predictable things. There's a forced kiss between the girl and her pretend boyfriend. This exact thing happened in Leap Year, the proposal, and then once they kiss they realize they're actually into each other. Number 2 on my list is The Spirit of Christmas. A girl falls in love with a hot ghost man from a different time period. Good things. There's a little mystery in this one. It's charming, and the ghost is hot as Weird things. The ending of this movie is also pretty confusing. Is he still a ghost? Is he a living man now? Will he age and die normally? Where did he get that hat? Predictable thing. The almost kiss. I mean, most of these movies had this moment, but this one was just plain torture. Number 1 on my list is The 12 Dates of Christmas. It's a cute Christmas version of Groundhog's Day. It's ABC Family, it's entertaining, and the love interest is Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. Good things about this movie. There's a montage of her having a treat yourself day. This is exactly what I would do if I was in a Groundhog's Day loop. My favorite Christmas song is played at the end of this movie, which is Cold December Night by Michael Bublé. Predictable thing. Turns out the love interest is secretly a saint and does volunteer work for a bunch of kids. Those are my rankings for trashy Christmas movies that I found on Netflix. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And comment down below with suggestions for movies that I still need to watch. Bye!